Everybody has a certain feeling when they talk about empathy. They love it, they hate it, whatever that is. But I really want to know what feeling or what emotion or what meaning do the words I'm going to pull up here mean to you? And if you could just respond in the chat, I would appreciate that. So let's start with this one. Psychological safety. When you hear psychological safety, how does that make you feel? What do you think about it? I see trust. I feel I can be honest, willing to be vulnerable, being able to speak, share my voice, safe space, not sure, safe, being heard, stepping out on a ledge, bravery. I want to touch on that bravery for a minute. Psychological safety and courage have a lot in common here. I see allyship. The workplace has evolved. Say what needs to be said and improve performance, whether pleasant or not. Interesting. Most basic need.
The point you made, the last point about organizations and the combination of DDI showing leaders, empathy, the driver for leadership. And yet on the next one, the idea that our teammates are looking at our leaders going, this is bull. So thinking that this process is powered by us, people with purpose, with passion. How do you look at empathy as within its place within an organization? How does this get driven to be a part of the tapestry of an organization?
If I may bring up a current situation that is going on at my work. 2 weeks ago, we announced that we are relocating from Chicago to North Carolina. And all of our 160 in-person employees are invited to go. However, if they choose not to, they will lose their job. So there's a lot going on. And my role is to encourage as many people as possible to uproot their families and move to a new city. But what I'm working on doing is being empathetic, of course, keeping business moving, but also knowing, and this is something you said, Loren, that I'm hanging on, is what's best for them is what's best for the business. There are going to be some people that it's not for them to move, and hearing that and letting them go. I think at least 7 times yesterday, I listened and said to people, I just want you to do what's best for you.
Oh, okay. I appreciate it. Yeah, this has been really interesting. And I appreciate the concept of it. As somebody who's had a global job working around the world, you get to, and particularly from learning, you get to understand how different cultures work, how they react, whether they're patriarchal or not. And sometimes I kind of think, being 30 years into my job, where we are now with Generation Z and all these things that are coming up politically and culturally and whatnot, I have to kind of wonder if a lot of what I'm seeing is maybe isolated to the United States, Canada, maybe certain particular countries in the Western Bloc. Because I think if I were to go to Asia, and if I were to bring some of this up, particularly Japan, China, there might be an element like, we don't need that. We've got our way of doing things, which is very patriarchal, and we don't want you to bring about shame or dishonor